Could you explain the mechanics of how reinforcement schedules are strategically applied in behavior modification for neurodivergent children?
Okay, so when we are talking about reinforcement schedules, that means reinforcement means something that follows a behavior that increases the chances of that behavior being repeated, right? So, I give you a lengthy answer. You told me it was insightful. That increases the chances of me giving a further lengthy answer.
We are all up for it.
So, when we talk about reinforcements, so reinforcement can be continuous. That every time you do something, you are given the reinforcement, and it can also be on an interval basis, right? Like after every 15 minutes, every half an hour. It can also be on a ratio basis, that based on number of times you do it. So when we are talking about reinforcement in neurodivergence, for any new activity, we can start to, as long as the activity is still not used to, or is not, how shall we say, it does not become very natural or spontaneous, we can go for continuous reinforcement. And what we can do is that to every approximation of the behavior that we call shaping, we can give reinforcement. But once the child has already achieved a certain level, okay, and they are doing a level below that, then we do not reinforce. Because we are setting a certain expectation that you have to be better than this. Sorry, or that you can do higher or better. And over time, we will remove reinforcements. So we'll go for variable reinforcement schedule, that sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. Because often what happens is, see, in autism, sometimes when the child talks or when the child wishes, is said good talking, good waving. And gradually the child starts picking up, so they wave and then they say good waving. So that's also an echolalia that gets picked up, right? You don't want that. So you also have to tone down on the reinforcement over time. So I think, yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am, most definitely. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, as we all know, children, neurodivergent children, they often struggle with social cues. So during a major meltdown, it's hard to look past just stopping the behavior. How can we help parents switch from simply handling a crisis to teaching them a better way to communicate with those children?
Right. So here also I think I'll go back to the first question, that prevent rather than intervene. Yeah. So prepare the child for any new interaction. Prepare them through transitions, prepare them by telling them beforehand, see if social stories can work, that can be a good tool, or carry something that the child is comfortable with, right? Despite all of this, meltdowns may occur and it may be very difficult in the moment, right? And also what happens, what increases the difficulty is not that it's happening again, it's also that others are watching. Others are seeing this happen. So that is that perceived or the social stigma, perceived stigma that steps in, right? It's good to have a team. I think it's good to understand that you don't have to do anything alone, and I hope the parent has the support, right? So in the moment, first thing would be to regulate themselves, right? And then remember that this is what the child is doing in this moment, right? This 10 minutes seem to be very difficult, but once we get through this, it is easier. And it is important that we do not give them rewards, or we do not give in to what they are asking to stop them from being disruptive, because that might establish a pattern. Yeah, but every time I think it's a lesson, and slowly we can take this as pointers that okay, this is something that we need to work on again, and maybe we can start slow, right? And we can always think about the child's limits. So for example, if I'm thinking of taking the child to a shopping mall, right? So rather than taking, and the child has problem with closed spaces, so then rather than taking them to West Mall or South City, maybe I can start with city center, which has, in comparison, which has more open space. So I can start gradually and I can build it up. Yeah, so that can be done.
Very helpful. So ma'am, now to wrap things up,
Yeah.
what are the some of the most effective, evidence-based techniques or for behavior modification that you can, tell our parents who will be watching this video that they can apply on their children?
Right. So I think with all of them, I can mention the names here, but with all of them, some training is required and understanding is required. Functional analysis of behavior and applied behavior analysis is one classic tool that is used. Apart from that, to maintain challenging behaviors or to manage, not maintain, sorry, to manage and reduce challenging behaviors, contingency management can be helpful, where you change what precedes the behavior or what follows the behavior. You can use token economy, that giving the child maybe some few small stickers that they can sort of exchange in lieu of a bigger reward that they like. We can use Pramanik principle, where we sort of pair a less preferred activity with a more preferred activity, so that the less preferred activity also gets done. I think these are few.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
This has been a very wonderful learning experience for all of us, and I'm sure all the people who will be watching this video will be equally very happy and feel they will learn something from you. So thank you everyone. Thank you for watching, and please follow us everywhere. Thank you.